Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWS. Continuing on with college football week 7, Big Ten matchup here. Wisconsin on the road in Piscataway. Let's go.
Welcome to the SWS. The SWS. SWS. Hey, get the SWS.
All right, like I said, Wisconsin's on the road at Rutgers for this one. Scarlet Knights laying 2.5 points at home. Rutgers laying points to Wisconsin. What a time in college football. You love to see it. Total sitting at 40, pretty much 40.5 across the board for this one. So let's start with the Wisconsin offense. They're sitting at 50th in OFEI. I mean, pretty mediocre looking numbers here. 63rd in yards per play, 61st in yards per carry, 71st in yards per pass attempt. Obviously, the lead story of the Wisconsin offense has been Tyler Van Dyke getting hurt, Braden Locke taking over at quarterback. For the most part, we've seen Locke struggling, but I mean, they threw him in there against Alabama. There's not many quarterbacks that are going to be thrown into the game and just march up and down the field on Alabama. It just won't happen. His main problem, though, this year has been dealing with pressure. Braden Locke has shown us that when he gets a clean pocket, he is capable of making throws. It's when pressure gets in his face is when he starts to struggle. So I guess it's good news that Rutgers hasn't really shown us much of a pass rush. Just 64th in the country in pressure rate, 115th in sack rate. They're sitting at 41st in pass rush grade, 14th in win rate is actually nice, but just 64th in pressure rate so far this year. And Wisconsin's offensive line has done a great job in pass protection so far this year. 18th in pressure rate allowed, 37th in sack rate, 6th in pass blocking grade. So maybe Braden Locke's going to have some time to throw in this one. I mean, we saw what happened last week when Braden Locke has time to throw. Against Purdue, Wisconsin had 361 yards passing, 11.3 yards per attempt, 56.3% success rate per dropback. This was a very successful passing attack last week against Purdue. Now, to be fair, Rutgers is most definitely not Purdue, and in Braden Locke's other two games against Alabama and USC, it didn't look pretty. Just 5.7 yards per attempt, 160.5 passing yards per game, 30.8% success rate per dropback. Now, I feel it's important to point out that both Alabama and USC are able to pressure the quarterback. Rutgers really doesn't have a pass rush like that, but still, Rutgers is not on the level of Purdue. In fact, they've been great against the pass so far this year. They're 18th in the country in yards per pass attempt allowed, 6th in success rate per dropback, 25th in effective pass. Rutgers defense as a whole is sitting at 35th in DFEI. But when you take a closer look at Rutgers pass defense, who do they look elite against? Virginia Tech, on the road at Virginia Tech. Kyron Drones couldn't get anything going through the air, just 137 yards passing, 5.1 yards per attempt. They also looked elite on the road at Nebraska. Raiola, just 164 yards passing. Well, that's Nebraska's team passing stats. 5.9 yards per attempt, just 22.7% success rate per dropback. So Rutgers pass defense looked elite against Kyron Drones of Virginia Tech and elite against Dylan Raiola in Nebraska. But at home against Washington, Will Rogers, they got carved up through the air. 314 yards, 8.5 yards per attempt, over a 47% success rate per dropback. Now, why do I think that's significant? Well, what do we know about Will Rogers and that Washington passing attack? Quick release, quick 3-step drop, get rid of the ball. Quick 5-step drop, get rid of the ball. 3.18 average seconds before he throws it. That's 29th fastest in college football. Want to know who gets rid of the ball even faster than that? Braden Locke. 3.06 seconds before he throws it. That's 19th fastest in college football. So Rutgers at home again, where they struggled to stop Will Rogers in that passing attack against another quarterback who gets rid of the ball quickly. Now, is Braden Locke on Will Rogers' level? Of course not. Will Rogers is 4 years starting experience at Mississippi State in the SEC, much more tenured quarterback. Braden Locke's new. I think this is going to be his 5th start. So, of course, we're not comparing Braden Locke to Will Rogers in terms of experience or skill set, or I shouldn't say skill set, but in terms of experience or capabilities right now. But you add in the fact that Wisconsin should be able to run the ball in this game because Rutgers has really struggled against the run. On the season, they're allowing 5 yards per carry, 158 rushing yards per game, almost a 50% success rate on the ground. And even though this hasn't looked like the big physical dominant rushing attack that we're used to seeing from Wisconsin in years past, they've still been running the ball. 4.38 yards per carry as a team, almost a 50% success rate, 170 rushing yards per game. Remember, this is a Rutgers defense that lost its best player, inside linebacker, right before the season started. He's out for the year. So Wisconsin's going to be able to run the ball in this game. Combine that with the fact that that Braden Locke gets the ball out fast, and we saw Rutgers struggle with Will Rogers, another quarterback who gets the ball out fast, I think Wisconsin's going to score points in this game. But what about the other side of the football? Let's talk about Rutgers' offense. Obviously, this is a unit that runs through Monungai in the rushing attack. They're 29th in run frequency. Kaliakmanis, not very effective as a passer. Rutgers needs to run the ball. They've done a pretty good job of it so far. Just 63rd in the country in yards per carry, but they're 35th in success rate, 19th in effective rush. What worries me about Rutgers' rushing attack is they did so much of their damage in the first two games against Akron and Howard, averaging 307 rushing yards per game, 6.82 yards per attempt, almost a 61% success rate. They ran the ball all over these teams. Since then, I mean, Washington, Virginia Tech, Nebraska, just 3.55 yards per carry, 37.9% success rate per rush, 138.3 rushing yards per game. And yeah, Washington, Nebraska, these are solid defensive fronts. Virginia Tech's okay, but it's not like they played Ohio State or Tennessee or Georgia. I mean, 3.55 yards per carry. If you're an offense that relies on the run game, you need to be more efficient than that. I mean, against teams like Washington, Nebraska, and Virginia Tech. And Wisconsin's defense, you can honestly throw them in the mix with those teams right there. They're sitting at 33rd in DFEI. Not elite, but certainly not bad either. Against the run specifically, they're 75th in yards per carry allowed, 64th in success rate, 43rd in effective rush. Obviously, Alabama ran the ball all over Wisconsin, but I mean, they're in a different class. That's to be expected. 5.32 yards per carry in that game, 181 yards rushing. In their two games since then, though, Wisconsin's done a solid job against the run, allowing just 4.13 yards per carry. 32% success rate is solid. Now, that's against USC and Purdue. Purdue's terrible. USC more of a passing team. Rutgers' rushing attack is obviously better than these two teams, but it's certainly nice to see Wisconsin playing solid defense against the run coming into the Rutgers game, because we know that's what Rutgers is going to do. They're going to give the ball to Monungai. They're going to give the ball to Samuel Brown. So Wisconsin looks pretty good against the run. As far as Wisconsin's numbers against the pass, I mean, they're pretty much right on par with their numbers against the run. 68th in yards per pass attempt allowed, 76th in success rate, 46th in effective pass. I mean, pretty much Jalen Milroe in Alabama was the only team to successfully throw the ball on Wisconsin. So, I mean, I don't expect Kaliakmanis to be able to do that. Let's pull up his numbers. I don't have it in front of me. 947 yards, 7.1 yards per attempt, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's not bad looking, but if you isolate the Rutgers passing numbers in just their last 3 games, so basically take out Akron, take out Howard, it's not great. Just 190 passing yards per game, 6.87 yards per attempt, 36.4% success rate per dropback. So Kaliakmanis has not shown us he can be trusted as a passer, and the Wisconsin's defense has been slightly above average against the pass. So it's going to come down to, can Wisconsin stop the Rutgers rushing attack? And I don't think they can stop it, but I definitely think they're able to hold it in check, keep it from absolutely killing them, which is why I would have to go with Wisconsin in this game. I think they actually win the game outright. I hope I'm wrong, because I'm in New Jersey. I'm rooting for Rutgers. I also am unable to bet this one personally because I'm in New Jersey, but Wisconsin catching points, I think they win. So my pick for this game is Wisconsin plus 2.5. I think they win outright. I'm unable to bet this personally. If you'd like to see all the bets I have open, head over to KyleKirms.com and click on Open Bets. You'll see all mine as well as everyone else on the staff here. Also, if you sign up to Sauce Network Plus, it comes with access to the Discord, and you can participate in the weekly betting league. $150 on one of these trophies go to the winner every single week. So if you're interested, head over to the website and sign up. Live show Saturday morning, 10 a.m. up to kickoff. We'll go through every single game on the board, or as many as we can. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. Let's have ourselves a nice college football week 7. I need it, man. Been getting killed in college football. Need this to turn around. Please remember to bet responsibly. Talk to you in the Discord.